All right, let's talk about something that could totally flip the script on how we use the internet. It's this project called Opalcash, and the idea behind it is pretty wild. What if we could rebuild the entire internet with invisible money?
Okay, so we all love the internet, right? I mean, so much of it is free. You get free articles, free videos, free social media. It's awesome. But have you ever really stopped and thought about it? Is any of that stuff actually free? You've probably heard the saying, if you're not paying for the product, then you are the product.
And here's the deal, the trade-off we're making every single day, most of the time without even thinking about it. We think we're getting all this stuff for nothing, but nope, we're paying with our personal data. We think we're just enjoying some content, but really, we're being slammed with intrusive ads. And we think we're getting informed, but what's really happening is we're being manipulated by algorithms that are literally designed to just keep us scrolling. It's kind of the internet's broken business model when you think about it.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dig into those hidden costs. Then, we'll introduce this idea of invisible money. After that, we'll see how Opalcash works, what a new online economy might look like, and finally, what digital freedom could really be.
So, on to our next section, introducing invisible money. The big idea here is, what if supporting creators was as easy as clicking like? I mean, imagine that for a second. What if paying for stuff you love online was just effortless?
The way this works is through something called micropayments. And yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. These super tiny, practically invisible payments that just happen automatically while you're doing your thing online. The best way to think about it is like a digital tip jar, you know? Every time you upvote something or watch a video you like, a little fraction of a cent just drops right into their jar. You don't have to do a thing.
And that right there is the whole philosophy behind this. The goal is to make money a totally invisible, seamless part of how we interact online. Think about it. No pulling out a credit card, no logging into PayPal. You don't even have to think about it at all. You just browse, and the support, it just flows.
Okay, that all sounds really cool in theory, but how does it actually work? Let's get into it. How Opalcash works. This is your guide to what could be a much cleaner, simpler way to experience the web. So it's actually pretty straightforward. It's basically a four-step thing. First, you add the Opalcash extension to your browser. Easy enough. Second, you put some funds in it from a Bitcoin Cash wallet, which is really just a way to send money online without needing a bank, and you set a budget you're cool with, like maybe $5 a month. Then, number 3, you just browse the web, like you normally would, no changes. And finally, at the end of the month, that $5 you set aside gets automatically divvied up between all the creators and sites you visited. It's totally a set it and forget it kind of deal. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking right now. Great, another app to track everything I do online. But that's the thing. The answer is a hard no. And this is probably the most important part to get. All the processing, all the information about what sites you're visiting, it all happens locally, on your machine. There's no central server spying on you, no profile being built about you online. Your browsing stays your business.
The reason that's possible is because it's peer-to-peer, or P2P. All that means is it's a direct connection, from you to them. No company, no middleman, nobody sitting in between. Your money goes right from your pocket to the creator's pocket, without anyone taking a cut or snooping on your data.
It even has this really clever safety feature built in, the claim it or lose it thing. So picture this, your monthly contribution gets sent to a creator's address, right? They have a whole year, 365 days to grab those funds. But if for some reason they don't, maybe they forgot about it, who knows? After day 365, that money automatically comes right back to you. So your support never just gets lost out in the digital void.
All right, so we get how it works, but the real question is, why does any of this matter? And that brings us to the really big idea here, creating a new online economy. Because this is about so much more than just a new payment system. It's about fundamentally fixing the broken incentives that run the internet today.
And this comparison here really lays it all out. The old way, well, it's a middleman economy. The value from your eyeballs and your clicks has to travel through advertisers and these giant platforms, and everybody takes a huge chunk before a tiny little crumb makes it to the person who actually made the thing you liked. But the new way, it's a direct economy. Value flows straight from you to the creator you want to support. That's it. Simple.
And the ripple effects from a shift like that are massive. Suddenly, creators are rewarded for making good stuff, quality content, not just clickbait to get ad revenue. It means we're less dependent on those crazy algorithms that push whatever is most engaging. And because it's all built on a global system, anyone, anywhere in the world can actually get paid for their work, even if they don't have access to a bank.
But honestly, this whole thing goes way beyond just the money. And that's our final section. Digital freedom reimagined. Because at its core, this is really about control. It's about taking back the power of free expression and putting it in our own hands.
And this quote just nails it perfectly. Your attention becomes a real economic vote, not just a number for an algorithm. I mean, think about that. Right now, your attention is just a data point for advertisers. But in this new model, your attention is your vote. You are actively, directly funding the internet that you want to see. It's a huge shift in power.
What this all adds up to is a much more resilient internet. Because the payments are peer-to-peer, they're really hard for a platform or government to block. It means you can support the people and ideas you believe in no matter what. And there's this other kind of subtle but really powerful effect. When you know that every view has a tiny, real-world value attached to it, you naturally become more mindful of what you're consuming. It actually discourages that mindless doom scrolling we all do and pushes us towards stuff that's actually worthwhile.
So, when you boil it all down, this isn't just about some new tech. It's about an idea. The idea of handing the power to shape the internet back to us, the actual users. And that really leaves us with one big question to think about. If every single click, every view, every like was a tiny brick building the future of the web, what kind of internet would you build? What would you choose to support?